Most side hustles don't fail because the idea was bad. They fail because of 5 trivial, avoidable mistakes. And you're probably doing at least one of them right now. Mistake number 1 has nothing to do with money, marketing, or your product or service. And it could put you in a tight spot financially before your side hustle even makes a single euro. And almost no one talks about it. Here's what actually happens. Someone gets inspired, they finally start their side hustle, they work hard, they stay consistent, and then it falls apart. Not because they weren't trying, but because they made the wrong moves at the very beginning. Most side hustle advice skips the hard part and they focus on motivation and the dream outcome. This video doesn't. I've been through this myself. I've made most of these mistakes myself, watched other people around me quit good ideas because no one told them what I'm about to tell you. 5 mistakes. Each one can be fatal to your side hustle from a different angle. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what they are and how to avoid them. Not checking your contract first. Most people start a side hustle and they forget that they already have a contract with someone else, their employer. Before you sell anything, read your employment contract. Some companies have a non-compete clause. Others restrict outside work entirely. You could be building something real and lose your main income overnight because of a paragraph you never read. I know a guy who started freelancing on the side and got fired before his side gig took off because his contract had a non-compete clause that he never checked. In the next step, I'm going to tell you how even a great idea can lead to a disaster, but first, here are the steps you can take to prevent mistake number 1. First, read your contract. Actually read it. Second, look at your colleagues' LinkedIn profiles. If others are listing side projects, that's already a very good sign. Third, if you do need to ask your manager, don't make it a big moment. Frame it as a hobby, a personal project, something that you do in your free time. The goal is to keep your current income protected while you build your empire. Because in the beginning, your side hustle will cost time, money, and effort before it can pay you back. You need that stability. Don't risk it. And if your employer says no, accept it gracefully, keep your job, and keep building quietly. It's a good idea though to start looking for another employer who's more flexible. Nobody wants what you're selling. Here's a hard truth most people won't tell you. Your idea might be worthless, and not because it's bad, but because there's no one willing to pay for it. And there's a difference. I fell in love with an idea before checking if anyone would actually pay real money for it. My friends and my family were really supportive. But that's not demand validation. That's bias. The next mistake, threatening your side hustle, is also money related. But before we dive into it, let's fix this one. Real validation comes from paying customers. So before you invest too much time, test your idea. Ask people directly, run a poll, offer a beta version. See if anyone outside of your circle would pay actual money for what you're offering. If the answer is no, that's not failure, that's data. Either there's no paying demand, or your product or service needs further improvement. But if there's no one selling what you want to sell, that's usually a red flag, not an opportunity. You don't have to reinvent the wheel to be successful. Do something that already works, or do the same thing but better. Faster, cheaper, or at a higher quality. Overspending on non-essentials. I've seen this one kill more side hustles than anything else. Someone gets excited. They buy the best equipment, the professional software, a fancy website, and a custom-made logo. They spend money on fluff they think will make them look more professional. And then, when the customers don't come, they quit. not because the idea was bad, but because they dug themselves into a hole before they even started. The next mistake is one that can break even a side hustle with solid finances. But first, here's how you can avoid overspending on your side hustle. Start lean, start simple, start with what you have. Use the free version of the software. Run to the gear. Build the website yourself. There are free tools online that will help you look professional enough. Your first goal is not to look like a business. Your first goal is to get your first paying customer. Everything else comes after. If your side hustle requires thousands of euros to start, it's not a side hustle, it's a liability. Upgrade gradually as cash comes in, not before. No plan, no direction. Most people start a side hustle with an idea and nothing else. No goal, no plan, no structure. So the first time something goes wrong, and something always goes wrong, they have nothing to hold on to. They get discouraged, they slow down, and they stop. This next mistake ties into this one as well, so let's fix this one first. A side hustle is a business, even if it's a small one. And every business needs a plan. Not a 100-page document, just answers to these 3 questions. What do you want to achieve? By when? And what are the steps to get there? That's it. You can find templates online. You can even use AI to help you build a plan. But don't take AI at face value. Use it as a starting point, not as a finished answer. Without a strong enough goal, every setback feels like a reason to quit. With a goal and a plan, every setback is just another problem to solve. That's the difference between someone who's building something and someone who almost did. If you are thinking of starting a side hustle, but are not sure where to begin, I have something for you at the end of this video. But for now, let's move on to mistake number 5. Quitting before results start to show. This one gets most of the people. Not the contract, not the demand, not the budget, just giving up. Because the beginning is slow, and most people mistake slow for broken. Here's what the beginning actually looks like. You put in hours, real hours. You tell people what you are building and they don't get it. You start questioning whether it's worth it. But that's not failure. That's just the beginning. Momentum is built in silence. Results show up later. We live in an age where people expect results in weeks or days. Momentum without mastery. Success without consistency. That's not how it works. It never worked that way. You see the overnight success, but you don't see the grind. People who build real things stay in the game long enough to see it work. So before you start, find a goal that's worth holding on to. Something that will keep you going even when you feel like stopping. Surround yourself with people who are also building, not with people who will comfort you when you quit, but with people who will challenge you to keep going. If you're ready to start your side hustle and would appreciate a solid plan, mentoring, and a community of like-minded individuals, you can apply to my mastermind via the link in the description. And to avoid these 5 mistakes, check your contract, validate demand, start lean, make a plan, and don't quit before it starts working. Now you have no more excuses to hide behind. I'm rooting for your success. Go make it big, and once you do, share your story so others can follow your lead. Subscribe for more.